Welcome, folks. Milwaukee Torrent against Isthmus City FC. I'm Kevin O'Connor, filling in temporarily for Simon Provan. So tonight is the cheese curd Clasico. Too bad we didn't have any cheese curds up here in the booth to keep us satisfied. However, if you're wanting to keep us production people hungry and happy, or fulfilled and happy, please send cheese curds ASAP. Thank you, Cousin Subs, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Torrent. Anyways, hey, glad you are all joining us. If you were with us for the women's game, the women had a wonderful showing where they won 7-0. A great tune-up for the WPSL Central Regional Championship coming up this weekend here at Hart Park. An awesome opportunity to watch some really high-end soccer this weekend as the women take on Salvo SC in the 7 o'clock game. And then in the first game at 4 o'clock is the Colorado Rapids team, which actually won the championship last year from my understanding. They're ranked number 1 in the nation in the WPSL. And they are going up against the Kansas City Courage. Bit of a back and forth already here in this game. Isthmus City with the throw-in. Pescaglia with the ball. And of course, the Torrent men are playing playoff soccer this weekend as well. I believe, is it Saturday? 7 p.m. Saturday in Des Moines. Oh, missed opportunity there. Great pass. Just missed. All up. Simon's working on the starting lineups and the rosters here. As with a lot of these friendlies, sometimes gathering information is a little tougher than normal. Shot on goal. Nice save by. Is that Stefan Schenk in the goal today? Normally Nick Chiappa. Stefan Schenk, wonderful young man coming over from Germany to play here for the Torrent. Got an opportunity to talk with him several weeks ago. He was helping us out here in the production booth. Did a great job on the camera. Really a talented goalkeeper, but certainly hard to get in front of Nick Chiappa, who has had some, quite frankly, insane penalty kick saves this season. At least 2 or 3, which is amazing. I don't think he's allowed a penalty kick through. Nice save by Schenk. Getting it out of the box. Just a bit of a misstep there by Jules Pesilone. And a shove and a foul on the Milwaukee Torrent. You can see the Torrent players fairly spread out. Isthmus City with 3 back towards the midfield. A fairly conservative approach here to this free kick. Wonderful save by Stefan Schenk. That ball was on target for sure, and a wonderful save. It's going to be a corner kick here for Isthmus City from the top side there. Ball put in the box. And kicked out of the box there by Jules Pacey-Lone. Ball into the box and out, resulting in a goal kick here. Ball starting up top. Just a bit too long there. That was back Ludwig back to Shank, and they're going to play it out of the back there. You won't have to deal with me much longer here as Simon's making final preparations here to join the broadcast. Tyler Howard on the bottom side here. Howard to Ludwig. Up to Kratzer. Up to Paco Piscaglia and out. Isthmus City ball. Throw in for Isthmus City. Max Ludwig up to great ball, through ball. Just a bit strong here on this Hart Park turf. Pacey-Lone looking for Paco Piscaglia up there on the top. Over to the bottom side here for Isthmus City. And Milwaukee Torrent ball. Great defense there by Osvaldo Sanchez. Not quite sure what happened there. It looked like it was a foul. Thrown for Isthmus City. Back to Tyler Howard. Changing directions here. Urbovich in his signature tucked-in jersey. I appreciate that about Yuri. Had another wonderful conversation with him. He's an immigrant from Ukraine. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Provan. It's been a pleasure for the first, 9 minutes.
All right, Kevin O'Connor, thanks so much for stepping in. As Kevin was saying, it is can be very difficult at times to get all the necessary information to make the type of call we'd like to call here. Nevertheless, we are going to do our best. I think we have a few numbers that are not entirely accurate for Isthmus, but we will do our best and work with the information we have. 0-0 here in the 10th minute. Once again, thank you to Kevin O'Connor for jumping in for me. He is back in his more comfortable position of producing our stream as he's done all season long. My name is indeed Simon Provan. Some of you will be pleased to know I'm back on. Some of you, I'm sure you're now turning off the stream. But you just put it on mute and go ahead and watch the stream. Max Ludwig played his college ball at UW Parkside, joined the team last year. as he was brought on by former coach Steve Provan. Head coach this year is James Weber, former player for the Torrent, as well as our professional indoor team, the Milwaukee Wave. Still a drizzle here at Hart Park, but finally subsiding a bit from what we had earlier today. Few more umbrellas in the stands than we had for the women's game, which is understandable. It would not let up at all. In fact, the only time the rain did let up was during halftime when no play was had out on the pitch. Rain came right back as if it could hear the referee about to blow his whistle. Came back in the second half. Opportunity here for Isthmus in the box. Strong defensive play from the Torrent. Torrent do want to make sure that they walk off the field all healthy today with their playoff match coming up this weekend, as Kevin had talked about already. Yuri plays the ball up top. Piscaglia tried to send the ball in. Instead is blocked. Isthmus City FC. That has been a tongue twister all day long. Play in the UPSL. Of course, Torrent men in the NPSL. Tyler Howard plays this ball right back to the center circle. Hubrovich plays this to the outside on the far side. Back to Paysalon. Ball top of the box. Shot on goal. Good save by the Isthmus City FC goalkeeper. I believe that is Sullivan Schwitters in goal. Nice ball here by Howard, making his way temporarily around Sam Johnson. Katzer plays the ball up top. Piscaglia. Opportunity here for Sanchez. Still standing on his feet. Looks to play the ball in. Perhaps would have done better to look for the pass. Nevertheless, Torrent still in possession of the ball. Nestis plays it to the top of the box. All the way back to Ludwig. Ludwig looks up. Plays the ball outside. Player remains onside. Ludwig making that run. Nice opportunity between those two players for the Torrent. Torrent still looking to play this ball forward. Piscaglia forcing the Isthmus defender to play that out of bounds. Throw in for Milwaukee. Ball played in by Nelson. Another throw-in for Milwaukee. Torrent finishing second in their conference, allowing them to get to the playoffs this year, returning after a one-year absence. Ludwig once again on the ball, looks to play it forward. No trouble in the end for Isthmus. Completely different conference for the Torrent this year. Years past, they were in a division with very strong Michigan and Ohio teams. Couple of expansion clubs this year in the conference that they ended up in, which they did take advantage of. But it was a bit of fingernail biting at the end, whether they would make the playoffs or not. Thankfully, they have. And using this game as a bit of a warm-up for their playoff weekend. Thought we were going to have a substitution here for Isthmus instead. Here we go. Now the substitution is happening. Ryan Anderson coming on the field for Isthmus. Taking a break, Suleiman Nagy. Earlier today, Isthmus City women lost to the Torrent 7-0. A little bit of a different story here. The Isthmus women not playing in a league just yet. That is the next step that they want to make. So instead, playing a lot of exhibition matches, and certainly showed at times, not as familiar with each other as perhaps their male counterparts on the field tonight. You see the men putting up much evenly balanced fight against the men Torrent side. And again, these men get to play almost every weekend in the UPSL. They're in a division mainly with Chicago and Milwaukee area teams. Piscaglia not happy with that call, but certainly from up here, looked like a pretty easy call for the referee. Play continues. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for Isthmus. Isthmus, of course, out of Madison. They dub themselves the best club in Madison. Of course, named after the peninsula in Madison. Shank plays this ball out, comes right back to him. All the way out to Howard. Howard has Nelson if he wants him. Instead plays it to Ludwig, who plays it right back to Howard. Some nice 1-2 play between those two players. Ludwig now playing this up to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to break free. Piscaglia, he is in the box, takes a shot. Nice save by the keeper, still alive. Fantastic work by Schwitters to make sure he got back in time. Nice shot lined up by Piscaglia. He actually was not in the box when he took that shot, but well struck, well saved. Sanchez forcing his player to have to play that ball back. Isthmus happy to do so. looking to reset while the Torrent apply high pressure. Works out for them as Pace alone, well, ends up losing the ball. Had it there for a minute. Now back to Katzer. Katzer out to Howard. All right. Nelson on the ball on the near side, just outside the box. Pace alone. Jules Pace alone has been with Milwaukee. I believe this is his third year now. Ball played back to Pill. Pill to Ludwig. Ludwig looking for options. Plays it in the middle, comes right back out to Ludwig. Heel pass by Ludwig, out to Nelson. Nelson in the box. Nice strong play from defender Will Smestad. Jallo trying to play this across field, instead intercepted by Pill. Pill would want a better decision on that ball after winning the ball. Tries to play it forward. Too much, though, as it goes straight to the Isthmus goalkeeper. Ball punted away. Pill in a bit of a foot race with Johnson. Pill playing it all the way back. Torrent will have to work quickly under heavy pressure. Well done by Milwaukee as they continue to have possession. Ludwig holding on to that ball, using his body to shield the defender away. And while that was great work by the defense, ball sent out of bounds, throw in for Isthmus. And while the Torrent have their playoff match this weekend, they also take on Metro Louisville FC in the NISA Independent Cup. They play Metro Louisville 7 p.m. this coming Monday. So you can, well, by all means, drive to Des Moines and cheer them on in the NPSL playoffs, but make sure you are here Monday, July 17th, for that 7 p.m. kickoff against Metro Louisville FC in the NISA Independent Cup. Referee counting off the yards, making sure there is appropriate distance for this free kick. Several substitutions now for Milwaukee. Abreu, one of the players coming on, along with Kyle Crane, Jonas Lusky, and one more player that I will get to in a minute. Ludwig standing over this ball. Great opportunity for Milwaukee. Sent near the top of the 6. Isthmus does well to get it out, just temporarily, though, as that ball goes to the feet of Nestis. Nestis now out to his right. Hebrovic plays this ball forward. Ludwig, opportunity missed. Shot by Milwaukee. Isthmus now looking for the counter. Instead, they'll take their time as they see they don't have the numbers. Jallo passing this ball back to Smeested. All the way across the field. Player down for Isthmus. Foul called on the Torrent. 0-0, 26th minute of play, almost 27th minute. Happy to be with you here from Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, home of FC Milwaukee Torrent. Speaking of the home of FC Milwaukee Torrent, WPSL Central Regional Playoffs happening this weekend. Doubleheader on Saturday, 4 p.m., Colorado Rapids women taking on KC Courage again. That is here at Hart Park. Followed at 7 p.m. as Salvo SC takes on the host, FC Milwaukee Torrent, as this ball is played across the box. Looked like it may have been an opportunity for the Torrent. Instead, results in a throw-in for Isthmus. As I was saying, the Saturday night, 7 p.m., FC Milwaukee Torrent taking on Salvo SC in the Central Region playoffs. The winner of those two games on Saturday will face each other on Sunday for the Central Region Championship. That game will be at 3 p.m. on Sunday, this coming Sunday. Winner of that then goes to the Final Four of the WPSL Championship. We certainly hope it's FC Milwaukee Torrent. But only time will tell, and it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend, so make sure you come on out and support the Torrent women. No score here in this game. Torrent certainly have had more of the chances. But Isthmus FC certainly have shown some flair, strong defense, heavy pressure from them every single time the Torrent work it back. Some nice work by Condiguo, number 77. Ball rolls out of bounds, throw-in for Milwaukee. Hebrovich looking to play it up. And right in front of the referee, Torrent player taken down. Thankfully, nothing worse for the wear, popping up right away. I believe that was Hebrovich who was down. Howard up to Crane. Crane playing this outside. Lusky plays it right back inside, back to Crane. Ball sent out. But Torrent right away regained possession as Schenk plays this out to his left to Howard. Plenty of movement from the Torrent. Lusky, nice cut to his right. Ball bounces to Ludwig. Plays it in the middle to Hebrovich. Looks to play it up in the box. But again, Isthmus City reading these plays well. Maybe not doing much when they win the ball, but win the ball they certainly have been doing quite a bit of in their own box. Isthmus still looking for their first opportunity on the Torrent goal. Jang plays this back. Smestad on his left foot. Hebrovich coming back in time to get a touch on that. Ball goes straight back, however. And under pressure is Shank, who sends that straight up the field. Nasty tackle right in front of the referee, and this is what you don't want to see during a friendly right before a playoff game, is Hebrovich going down. One of your better players on the team. Nick Banacutes with the yellow card, 33rd minute. That's one of the dangers of having a friendly against a team that you've never met before. They're hungry to prove that they are just as strong of a team as you are. And you have players sliding in, making unnecessarily rough tackles like that. Thankfully, Yuri is back up on his feet. Howard, plenty of time, plays this across to Cole Stevens. Stevens recently subbed in along with Sam Novak. Very compact field for the Torrent to deal with. They've gotten through this small field many times. Another foul right in front of the referee. Condegua being taken down as he was trying to make his way through two players. Abreu standing over this ball. We'll see if he indeed takes the kick. Torrent players loading the far side of the box. We'll see if Abreu floats this in for the Torrent or if he takes a shot himself on that goal. He does elect to float it in, goes straight to an Isthmus defender. Hebrovich Plays it back to safety to Howard, who plays it right back to Yuri. Again, we start to see the Torrent be a little bit more patient, especially after that foul that Hebrovich suffered. Now played out to Howard. Howard out to Lusky. Misplayed by Lusky, throw in for Isthmus. Hebrovich to Lusky. Lusky trying to send that ball through the middle of the park to Novak. Instead, intercepted. But once again, we see the Torrent quickly regain possession. Torrent looking for some ideas here, trying to get it over that back line. I'd say sometimes almost being too patient. Like to see them press a little bit more. Much better here now from Milwaukee. Abreu in the box, sends it across. Goal kick in the end for Isthmus. Give Condego credit for that run into the box. Ball perhaps just a bit too hard for him. Waiting to see what's happening here. Looks like perhaps some blood on the Isthmus player. That is indeed what's going on. Just need to get that covered up. Good eye by the referee. And looks like referee will continue to pause this game. Nick Banikowicz, the player, needing some bandage on his elbow. Everything's good now, ready to play. If this were not a friendly, of course, we would have seen the referee have the player go off completely and have him wave the player back on when referee deemed it was time for him to do so. But with it being a friendly, no need to get that technical. Instead, make sure the player's taken care of and play continues. 39th minute of play, 0-0. Torrent with one official shot on goal, though they certainly have had their opportunities. Ball played across the field. Nelson plays this up to Crane. Ball sent out of bounds. We'll see if the tall man, Kyle Crane, will do a long throw-in on this one. Instead, ball is thrown back to Stevens. Bounces off of Stevens, goes out of bounds. Isthmus throwing. Speaking of the NISA Independent Cup, looking at the score lines, the Torrent did suffer a 2-1 loss to Inter Detroit. That was back on June 27th. Of course, I mentioned the Torrent will be playing Metro Louisville FC. Back to that in a minute. Opportunity here for Milwaukee. Crane with the shot. Good save. Another shot. Sends this one over the goal. Give Sullivan Schwitters credit for that first save. I'm sure Crane would want that one back for the second effort. But going back to the NISA Independent Cup, yes, FC Milwaukee Torrent back on June 27th did lose to Inter Detroit. Then they will take on Metro Louisville on Monday. The way things stand, Metro Louisville and Inter Detroit will play their game between each other 3 days from now on July 15th. So that game will determine whether or not the Torrent is still in the running for the Independent Cup, at least in their region. Ball played up the field once again. Ball sent all the way back to Schwitters. Plays it out to his left. Gabrovich showing the skill in the middle of the park. Lusty playing this back to Howard. Lusky looking to play this up to Crane. Intercepted once again. And Isthmus now in control of the ball. Schmiestat. To Navarrete, back to Schmiestat. Stevens back to Shank. Torrent a little bit patient here. 44th minute of play. Happy to just keep knocking it around, trying to stretch this Isthmus City FC squad. Started to get that pressure from them. Now the Torrent look to move forward. Sam Novak rushing onto this ball. He'll apply the pressure to their goalkeeper who misplays it. Condegwo, top of the box, lays it off for Abreu. Ball eventually goes out of bounds. Torrent throw-in. Officially in the 45th minute of play. Torrent in the box. Trying to play it in, instead blocked by an Isthmus defender. And this will be a corner kick for the Torrent. I realize we had an injury and a yellow card, but not sure if the referee will add any stoppage time considering this is a friendly. In the earlier game with the women's teams, we had a significant amount of time pausing the game because of an injury. And even with that, because it was a friendly, whistle still blew when 90 minutes was up. Now, there seems to be a little bit more involved in this game, a little bit more pride on the line, perhaps. Not sure what the referee will decide to do. If anything, this could be the last play of the first half. Ball sent in. Novak trying to get up and get his head on it. Correction, Stevens. And that will do it for first half action. Good first half between these two teams. Perhaps a bit rough at times for a friendly, but you tell a player it's a friendly, they'll ignore that. We certainly saw that in the first half. We'll see what second half action brings, if there's any major changes. But for now, it is 0-0 between Isthmus City FC and FC Milwaukee Torrent here at Hart Park. My name is Simon Provan. Thanks so much for joining us. We will be back with an interview with women's head coach and Torrent owner Andy Davi. And welcome back to Hart Park. Usually we'd be doing this on camera, but we're a little bit lighter today because of the rain. But I am here with head coach of the women's side of FC Milwaukee Torrent and owner of the entire club, Andy Davi. Andy, welcome back to the press box.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, congratulations on your 7-0 victory earlier today. Any thoughts on that? I know it was a friendly, and the main goal was probably just keeping your players healthy for the weekend. But
yeah, it was for us important to really look that we could try some specific things that we work on, and specifically looking for Saturday for the semifinals or regionals. There's only so much you can do at practice, right? Even when you have like 24, 25 girls at practice. But even that, it's obviously, with all my respect, was a little bit of an easier opponent today. But still, we looked good. We had nice ball movement going. created chances. No, just alone in one situation, I think we hit the crossbar on the post 3 times in a row in like 10 seconds. But I mean, yeah, like you said, nobody got hurt. We had a few players out. We brought some prospective players already in for the coming years, so it was good.
Excellent. And you had brought it up already, your Central Region playoffs, big time here. We're talking hosting 3 games this weekend. Of course, 2 of those are the semifinals, and then Sunday is the championship. Let me ask you about, you're going to be playing a team that you hadn't faced all year because it is the playoffs. You're going to be facing Salvo SC at 7 p.m., a team out of Eagan, Minnesota. They are from the Northern Conference. You, of course, play in the Lake Michigan Conference. How do you prepare for a team that you haven't seen all year long?
Since Saturday, I think I watched 8 of their games multiple times. So you do the same preparation like what we did with Columbus. You watch tapes and tapes and tapes. You talk to some people. Luckily, I have in that conference a few friends that I talk to. I mean, I don't want to get caught by surprise, right? And I think everybody who saw the game last weekend against Columbus, again, I can just say I think Columbus was even stronger than Kansas City Courage that we lost last year. But I think with the preparation that we did for this game, we were prepared and not caught in surprise.
Speaking of Columbus, let's back up and talk about that game a little bit. You went up 2-0 in the first half. Then you looked like the women lost perhaps a little bit of steam or a little bit of focus, gave up 2 goals in the second half, had to go into extra time, eventually won with a goal by Alexa Miletus in the 106th minute. But walk us through some of that. The confidence we saw in the first half, then some of that loss of focus in the second half, and then how you brought that back in extra time.
So, I mean, normally I never like when somebody says, hey, did the goals happen at the wrong time? A goal normally can never happen at the wrong time. But I think those 2 goals, if we would have scored them at the beginning of the second half, would be different. I mean, you play long enough or you have all your brothers, you go 2-0 is the
most dangerous lead in sports,
most
right?
dangerous, right? 2-0, then you get that 2-1. But it was again like in that whole season, it was like what I said to them. I mean, they played with a 6 midfield, right? They played a box midfield, was great. And you have that one mistake where we don't cover. That was at 54, I believe.
Yes.
Where we don't cover her and where we let her take that shot. And we are basically, I mean, in every game we have the same strategy. You do not let them turn. You do not let them play through midfield. You do not take them shots. Right, so, and then they obviously got that second wind. They scored the second goal, and that was, I think, after the 2-2, we got back actually better into game. And after the 90 minutes, I just said, now the first 5 minutes is just about be stable, discipline, and the tactical formation, and then we take it from there. I don't know if you got the same impression. But I felt middle of the first overtime, they were done. They were gassed. Columbus was gassed out. So then in that second break, I said, girls, and I say this all to them every time, and we had enough proof. I said, when you play quick and fast, nobody can stop you. Doesn't matter if it's Quad Cities, again, with all my respect, or this Columbus team. I said, you need to play fast, you need to play direct. And what we played before, what we saw in the videos, when Columbus loses the ball in the build-up, they're spread out very wide because they have basically those 3 chains of 3 players. And we saw that at the third goal. Right? They lose the ball 30 yards in front of the goal. We bring it to the middle. Elsie, I even thought she took too many touches to bring it out before she brought out to Tori. Tori just take that prep touch, brings it in, and we have 2 girls blank in the middle. Because they're spread out in the back 3, and the defensive 3 that they basically have, they didn't drop back fast enough. And that was that one situation that we needed and was enough. And from there, it was just, even that I think they hit the crossbar after that, or
yes.
was it in regulation?
Yes. Yeah.
But it was again, even that they were dominant in midfield, but I don't think they created a lot. Also, that equalizer that they had was, I think, Miki can hold the ball, but she didn't. But to come back to the main question, it was really just the preparation, looking about what we really talked about, and really then executing it on the field. And they did it perfectly. And with a game like this, and you know how it is, right? With the haters, right? Everybody said, "Oh, they have an easy group." We deserve to be in this regional final because we played a perfect season almost. Other than that Chicago game, where if you would be there, but we deserve to be in that final, in that regional finals.
Well, and certainly give the women credit for the fact that many teams who are leading 2-0 and then they give up 2 goals,
they lose.
Fold.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So give the women a lot of credit for realizing that, no, we're still the better team in this. And,
Yeah.
and they kept that attitude. And,
Yeah.
again,
and
game winner.
And you know that is in general when you have, I mean it's also for the men's side, but when you have all those college girls and they stand at 6:30 every weekday in front of that fan, AM, not PM, AM, because they want to be here and they want to be successful. I mean, right? It's amazing, and they deserve where they are right now.
Absolutely. All right, Andy, I'm going to ask you to do something I've never asked you to do.
Oh boy.
All right. 4:00 p.m. on Saturday is the first game.
Yes.
Colorado Rapids women against KC Courage.
Yeah.
It's not an FC Milwaukee Torrent team playing, so I want you to sell this game to everybody listening. Why should they come out to Hart Park?
So you have the Colorado Rapids. It's number 1 in the nation right now. They have many players that have already pre-contracts with the NWSL. That's the one side. The Kansas City Courage is a reserve team of the NWSL team. We played them last year. They have high level Division 1 college players. Not as high as ours, but no, at the same level. It will be a fantastic game to watch. I am actually happy that we don't play one of those 2 teams in the semifinal. It will be a good competitive team. It will be technically good, tactically good. If you want to get good entertainment, if you have boys and girls who love soccer, who want to see soccer, good soccer, that's, other than our game, a game that you really want to watch. Okay.
Colorado Rapids women, perfect on the season. 30 points out of 30 possible points. I mean, that says it all. 10 games, and they win every single one of them. By a lot, too, might I add.
Yeah.
I think they've only given up 2 goals this entire season. And then, of course, the nightcap, 7 p.m., it's the hometown team. We shouldn't have to really sell that game.
Yeah, again, we're gonna do this again. All the girls 18 and below, if they wear a sports jersey, doesn't even have to be a soccer jersey, come to Hart Park. But most really importantly, we always talk about men and women treated be the same, right? Show those women that we really support women in sport. Support this club. I mean, they represent the state of Wisconsin in the nation, and it doesn't matter where you play. This is your hometown. This is Milwaukee. Those are girls that represent the city so well, and the Torrent. So come out here, help them, support them, and have just a great time with us.
I'm going to put this into perspective. There's 92 teams in the WPSL, maybe 96, something like that. Milwaukee Torrent is one of only 16 teams still standing in the WPSL.
Correct.
That says it all. And you had to do it by defeating a strong Columbus Eagles SC team.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears real quick because we're just about over with halftime. Men have a playoff game this weekend. Very important. But the next time we get to see them at home is in the NISA Independent Cup this coming Monday at 7 p.m. That's against Metro Louisville FC. It's a team that the Torrent faced last year as well. A very close game that was in Louisville. This year it's in Milwaukee. What can fans expect out of that game?
Also, very good competitive games. I mean, depends on the game. I think Metro will plays Inter on Sunday.
Yes.
Depending on the outcome of this game, everybody can still advance to the final game, what would be against the Michigan Stars. But again, it will be good soccer on a different competition, a different level. We are happy that we are again in that NISA Independent Cup. Gives us again more exposure. And again, it will be probably, it will be on the men's side, the last time to see them this year, unless we advance. But if we advance at the conference game, we have to win the bid for regionals. So I'm obviously going to throw a bid into host regionals, but because we will be the lower seed, we maybe don't get it. But just in case we don't make it or we don't win the bid, Monday would be the last time to see the men this year.
All right, so make sure you come out, folks. This Saturday and Sunday, This Saturday for sure, watching FC Milwaukee Torrent women play at 7 o'clock. But before that, Colorado Rapids women taking on KC Courage at 4 p.m. It's an honor to be hosting this games at Hart Park.
Absolutely.
Make sure you come out for that. And then the men as well, Monday against Metro Louisville FC. Well, Andy, I talked to you for quite a long time. Thank you for your time. I'm going to let you get out to the stands.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe get a little wet out there. Oh, I think the rain might finally be done for the evening.
I can't get any wetter. I just can't. It's impossible. But it's a joy.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, Andy Davi.
You're welcome.
We'll talk to you soon. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
And we are back with the second half kickoff. Thanks again to head coach of the women's side and owner of the club, Andy Davi, walking us through reasons to make sure we come out here this Saturday. Both 4 p.m. games and 7 p.m. games. Or I should say a 4 p.m. game and 7 p.m. game. As the Central region of the WPSL playoffs will be hosted by FC Milwaukee Torrent here at Hart Park. Can't say it enough. Colorado women taking on KC Courage at 4 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., your host team, FC Milwaukee Torrent, taking on Salvo SC out of Eagan, Minnesota at 7 p.m. The winner between those two games plays the next day, Sunday at 3 p.m. for the Central Region Championship. So much at stake on the line here at Hart Park this weekend. This game at 0-0. Strong first half, really, by both teams, but more on the offensive side for Milwaukee and more on the defensive side for Isthmus. Isthmus City FC out of Madison, Wisconsin. See the speed on their defenders. But that's basically how it was in the first half. Torrent owning most of the possession and really pressuring that back line of Isthmus. Isthmus with a few runs into their attacking third, but not many. Yet the score remains 0-0 here in the 48th minute. Milwaukee still trying to figure out this Isthmus defense. Certainly had a couple of opportunities, especially one by Conde Guo. Had a double effort, actually, and give a lot of credit to Sullivan Schwitter's goalkeeper for Isthmus. Here on this near side now is Jallo. Ball played into the middle of the field. Isthmus once again not able to connect that final pass in their attacking third, and Torrent quickly trying to move this ball upfield. Heavy pressure from Isthmus City, no matter where the Torrent are on the field. Opportunity here now for Sanchez to turn this in. Instead, Sanchez passes it back. Ludwig with a touch, plays it forward. Back to Ludwig it goes. Max Ludwig, as I said before, a product of UW Parkside, Division II powerhouse here in Wisconsin. The only Division II school in Wisconsin, actually. lot of speed here from Usman Jallo. A lot of play going through him for the attack. But once again, stand-up play by Nelson, taking that off of Jallo's feet. And Nelson retrieving the ball once again, trying to get it past left back, which unfortunately I don't have a number 4. Confirmation that it is Kurt Schneider, number 15. Strong play from him tonight as well. Ludwig making his way top of the box. Shot bounces around. Goalkeeper not able to handle it. Goes out of bounds for a corner kick. Schwitter's still in goal for Isthmus City. First nearly costly mistake that we've seen him make this evening. Another opportunity here for the Torrent off of a corner kick. Ball sent in. Good placement. Goal! Ethan Kratzer gets Milwaukee on the board in the 51st minute of play. You felt like this goal was going to come at some point in the game, and there it is. Perfectly played corner kick. Kratzer, one of the taller players on the field, getting as high in the air as possible, getting his head on that ball. And the center back gets the first notch on the board tonight for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Kratzer, a veteran on this squad, showing why he continues to make the Milwaukee Torrent roster. This ball played in the box. That goes out for a goal kick for Isthmus. But Kratzer, one of the center backs tonight, using every inch of his frame to take advantage of that corner kick. Player down for Isthmus. Looks to be number 6, Eric Perlin. Perlin up on his feet, walking off. My apologies as I missed that live. Taking down a few notes. Was not able to see what happened even on the replay as the off the ball play was out of the picture. But good to see Perlin on his feet, waiting to come back in. Referee gives him permission to do so. Always a little worried when you see a head injury, but Perlin was under concussion protocol out on the pitch. I shouldn't say was under, but certainly went through the protocol that one needs to go through to see if there is a possibility of a concussion. Glad to see everything's okay. As play continues here with a throw-in by the Torrent. Ludwig plays this ball back. Kratzer, your goal scorer, takes a touch, keeps sending it across the field. Howard now plays it to his left. Once again, want to welcome in everyone who is watching this game tonight. I'm assuming the majority of you are from Milwaukee and Madison, but wherever you are at, on behalf of everyone here at FC Milwaukee Torrent, my name is Simon Provan. Thanks for tuning in. It is a pleasure to have you with us. It's a pleasure to be with you as we are in the 55th minute of play here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, where earlier it rained quite a bit. Much needed rain in the area, but certainly made life a little difficult for the players on the pitch and the coaches on the bench. Things have calmed down here weather-wise, but still heated up on the field as the Torrent look for goal number 2. This ball played in, top of the 6. Goal! Osvaldo Sanchez making it 2-0 in favor of FC Milwaukee Torrent in the 56th minute. What a great build-up play by Milwaukee. Ball played across the box first by Pace alone, and then a nice flick from Kratzer to Sanchez. Sanchez putting it in the back of the goal. Correction, not Kratzer, but Piscaglia. Piscaglia with the assist. And if we're doing hockey assists tonight, as I had mentioned already, a beautifully placed ball originally by, I believe, Pace alone. Milwaukee looking for their third, but stopped quickly by the Isthmus defense. Looking back at the replay, indeed it was Pace alone. One-touch pass to Piscaglia. Piscaglia to Sanchez. Sanchez in the back of the goal. Heads-up run by Sanchez. And a beautifully placed one-time touch by Piscaglia. All-around wonderful team goal by FC Milwaukee Torrent. So Kratzer with the first in the 51st minute, Sanchez with the second in the 56th. So after 50 minutes of no goals, suddenly in a span of 5 minutes, we have two. Torrent looking for their third. At the risk of the commentator's curse, you almost feel that third goal coming soon here as Max Ludwig collects the ball, plays it out to Hibrovic. Ludwig, top of the box, plays it out to Sanchez. Sanchez with another opportunity, still on the ball. Sanchez really showing his strength. As my man Kevin O'Connor reminded me, 2-0, another player down for Isthmus. 2-0 being the most dangerous lead in soccer. I usually can't stand that cliche, but almost became true this past weekend as the Torrent women were up 2-0 against Columbus Eagles SC. Well, Columbus came back to tie things up 2-2, but thankfully in the end, FC Milwaukee Torrent got a goal in extra time in the 106th minute, first 30 seconds of the second half extra time to win that game 3-2. But player really struggling for Isthmus, went to stand up and walk off the field, went right back down. Looking to see if we can get a number on this player. Hand on his right side, but also walking very gingerly on that right leg. Certainly don't like to see this at all during a friendly. We did have an injury for the Isthmus women earlier today. That was near the end of the game, about the 80th minute. And while, of course, the Torrent men want to stay healthy for their playoffs, Isthmus certainly want to keep everybody healthy as well, regardless of what their status is in the league, where things look like they may be. Player coming off was number 6, Eric Perlin. If you remember earlier, Perlin had that head injury. So certainly wish him well, hope he recovers. And no foul called on the play. I saw it happen live. It just looked like it was two players coming together, nothing malicious there. Isthmus doing the sporting thing and playing the ball back to the Torrent, since the Torrent was in possession of the ball when that injury, when the ref blew the whistle for the injury. So applause all around for Isthmus FC. Jallo playing this back. Kerslov, the man originally with the ball. Ludwig trying to help back defensively. Jallo on this near side. Cuts into his right, looks for the shot. Shank with a bit of a bobble. Ends up picking it up off of the bounce, ending any threat that Isthmus may have presented. Kratzer to Howard. Howard all the way back to Kratzer, taking a little bit of some chances here right in front of the goal. And while Nestis tried to keep that under control, it instead goes out of bounds. Isthmus City really starting to feel they may have an opportunity here. Ludwig with another one of his back heels, almost becoming his signature move, at least in this game. Nestis with a well-placed ball to Piscaglia, who looks up for Sanchez once again. Ball rolls out of bounds, throw in for the Torrent. Hebrovic looking to bring this ball in, passes it off. Nice move by Pesalone, plays it near the goal. Kicked way out, only for Tyler Howard of Milwaukee to collect the ball. Foul called, and in all honesty, I'm not quite sure about that one. Certainly looked like the player got the ball. Nevertheless, quickly played by Ludwig. Ludwig to Howard. Opportunity for Milwaukee, top of the box. Shot, nobody there. As Schwitzer makes another save. This one he parried to just in front of himself, able to run on it. No pressure from Milwaukee. Pesalone wearing the pink cleats tonight. His boots matching his flashy play at times. Ludwig on the ball once again to Hebrovic, as we've seen many times. One-touch play between those two players. Ball played up. Piscaglia not able to get there. Again, Schwitters with an excellent play. Ludwig Ball kicked way up. It looked as if player was attempting to send that out of bounds, Sam Johnson that is, and instead takes a roll off of his outside of his foot as he was trying to send that out and goes out of bounds for a corner kick for Milwaukee. Now on for Isthmus City. Max Campos wearing number 8. And I believe number 5 is Ocio Dominguez. Though we did have a couple of number 5s on the roster tonight. Sam Johnson coming off the field. Another player down. This is Jallo. Trainer there quickly. And he is asking for a substitute. We'll see what happens with Jallo. Looks like it may just be cramping going on, and hopefully that is the case. Suleiman Nagy coming on now for Isthmus City. Of course, coming on for the injured Jallo. Well, we are in the 67th minute, and Isthmus still very much in this game, wanting to pressure this Torrent defense, even players from the bench calling for their teammates to step up, bring the high pressure. But FC Milwaukee Torrent once again, what will they do with this one? Nestis in the box, takes a shot, puts it right at Schwitters. No issue for Schwitters on that one. Nagy plays this to the top of the box. Opportunity for Isthmus. Strong slide tackle, but ball still alive in possession of Isthmus. This one is way over the goal. And looks like it may have taken a touch off of a Torrent player, so this will be a corner kick. Torrent bringing everybody back, making sure they cover this one defensively. Isthmus City keeping one player all the way back and another midfield. Certainly some opportunities there for Isthmus, not able to get it forward with those headers. And now the Torrent, can they counterattack? Habrovic on the near side. Plays it in front. Sanchez once again in the box. Big touch. Schwitters is there at first. Schwitter dives and makes sure he brings that Torrent counterattack to a dead end. Well, I'll tell you what, I know the Torrent have a very strong goalkeeper core. But if Weber is keeping an eye on other possibilities, he may want to keep in touch with Sullivan Schwitters. Sanchez in the box. This, I believe, will be a corner kick. Yes, it is. Took a deflection. Cliff Johnson, thanks for joining us tonight and leaving your comments on our YouTube stream. Cliff is watching from Kenosha tonight. Brought up Max Ludwig playing college ball at UW Parkside, of course, located in Kenosha. Ball played in, Milwaukee, corner. Howard taking a strong bump, but holding on to the ball, plays it back to Hibrovic, who plays it to Pesalone. Pesalone all the way to Piscaglia, who sends it in the box. Opportunity! A slip in the box leads to nothing for the Torrent on that runaround. And while Ludwig looked to play that back to Pill, in fact, we have a few players out there that look to be from Parkside. Sanchez, Piscaglia, Pesalone as well. This is Kevin O'Connor you're hearing in the background. Speaking of one of them, Sanchez! Not quite sure if Sanchez got the final touch. It looks like instead we will get confirmation in a second. As we wait on the confirmation of that goal scorer, we are in the 72nd minute, 3-0 in favor of the Torrent. I know it took us quite a while waiting for confirmation, but it indeed was not Sanchez. In fact, it was Taylor Pill, who's been playing left back tonight with quite a strike. It just went over Sanchez's head. Wasn't sure if Sanchez got the final touch on that, and by the time I took a look up to see who it might be, the goal scorer was being surrounded, and we could no longer see his number. So go the trials sometimes of calling minor league soccer. But Taylor Pill is your goal scorer in the 72nd minute, putting Milwaukee up 3-0. And what a banger of a shot that was. Pill saw that Schwitters was just off of his line. And certainly taking full advantage of where he was. I mean, he was about 35, 40 yards out on the field when he took that shot. Went to the far side of the goal, upper 90. The rest is history. And now you see more of his Torrent teammates wanting a goal of their own from far out. You're going to beat Schwitters perhaps on that once. I can't imagine he's going to fall victim to that many more times, if at all. Opportunity perhaps for Isthmus. Nice cut inside. Trying to get numbers up, but Torrent able to get even more numbers back. Taylor Pill, your goal scorer, just a few minutes ago on the ball. Plays this to Nestis. Nestis to Abreu, who plays it to Ludwig, back to Hibrovic, back to Ludwig. Ludwig out to Pill on the right side. Well, this will bode well for the Torrent's confidence this coming weekend. They are not at home like the women are this coming weekend for their NPSL playoff game. But they will be in Des Moines, Iowa. As we have some substitutions now for Milwaukee. Stevens, Davis, and I've been saying Sam Novak, but Sam, who's become a good friend of mine, actually sent me a text letting me know he is not on the field tonight. He is he's actually at home watching this game and cheering on the men. So we do not have who it is that is wearing number 6 tonight. My apologies for that. If you are watching this on YouTube and you happen to know who our mystery number 6 is, please let us know. Certainly like to give that young man credit for his time out on the field.
The third FC Milwaukee Torrent goal was scored by Taylor Pill. He was assisted by Lucas Nestis. The goal came in the 71st minute. Pill from Nestis, 71st minute.
And we do have number 6. Your player wearing number 6 tonight is Jacob Marcus. Narcus, my apologies. Jacob Narcus. But hey, you know, if me calling out the wrong player gets Sam Novak to send me a text, then it was all worth it. Torrent falling back just a bit as they allow Isthmus some room. See if Isthmus, however, can take advantage of this. Campos sending this ball up. Ludwig taking a shot to the face. Able to stay on his feet. The referee checked in with him a couple of times now. That'll be a handball against Isthmus. Ludwig seemed to be doing okay. Narcus, the man who I mentioned just before. The last name on the back says Novak, but at least it is actually Narcus. And, yeah, it certainly doesn't help that he has short blonde hair, just like our friend Sam, as shot on goal, saved by Schwitters. So talk about, at least from the press box, everything lining up to seem to have matched that jersey. Pill on the near side, picks his head up, sends this one in the box. Makes it all the way to the other side where Jallo collects it and starts his movement downfield. Quickly pressured by the Torrent midfield. Slip on the pitch by the right back. We had mentioned how much rain we got before, and while we have all had the opportunity to dry off a bit, you can see from the floodlights the amount of water that is still on the artificial surface tonight. And as I say that, coming onto the field, returning for Isthmus is number 14, Sam Johnson. Coming off the field is number 17, Nick Banakowitz. Throw in for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Opportunity here for Narcus, making his way into the box, plays it out. Too far out of reach. Goal kick for Isthmus. FC Milwaukee Torrent men, we've talked a lot about how they'll be here at Hart Park on Monday taking on Metro Louisville FC in the NISA Independent Cup. But before that, even though they won't be at home, Torrent have a playoff game this Saturday, 7 p.m. in Iowa, as they'll be taking on Des Moines United FC. Now, Des Moines United FC took first in the new Gateway Conference. FC Milwaukee Torrent took second, so they will face each other again now for the conference crown. Des Moines United FC finished the year 8-1-1, an impressive 25 points on the season, and a plus 13 goal differential. FC Milwaukee Torrent, not as strong of a record, obviously, but certainly came on strong at the end of the season. 5 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws, good enough for 18 points as they beat out Sunflower State. Sunflower State ending the year with 13 points and third in the Gateway Conference. Top 2 teams go into the playoffs in the NPSL as FC Milwaukee Torrent look for yet another goal here. That'll go out of bounds. We'll see what the referee awards and eventually gives a corner kick to the Torrent. But the Torrent will take on conference foe Des Moines United FC for that Gateway Conference crown. And again, that game happening in Des Moines. That game Saturday at 7 p.m. And if you come out to Hart Park for the women's game, which they would love to have you do, again, Central Region playoffs, opportunity for Milwaukee goes well over the goal. We will be keeping you updated in the stadium with what is going on with the men's game as well. An exciting year to have both the men's team and the women's team in the playoffs. Of course, the women already began their playoffs with a 3-2 extra time win over Columbus Eagles SC to claim the Midwest Conference crown. Now they move into the Central Region semifinals. They win that, they'll play Sunday in the championship game at 3 p.m. Both games, should the Torrent play both games, are going to be tough ones. Torrent will be playing Salvo SC out of Eagan, Minnesota. And before that game, 4 p.m. here at Hart Park, Colorado Rapids women, the #1 nationally ranked team in all of the WPSL, will be taking on KC Courage, another very strong WPSL side. This ball played in the middle through the entire box. It goes. Now misplayed. No, still in bounds. Torrent looking for a foul, but ball went out of bounds for a goal kick. 85th minute of play, almost 86th. Narcus plays this in the middle. Torrent just not able to get on the end of these, try as they may. One of the things that is really fun to watch tonight is how quickly the midfield of the Torrent transition. Crane with a shot off the post. Opportunity again for Narcus. No trouble at all for Schwitters. But as I was mentioning before, how quickly the midfield of the Torrent is aware that they need to go from offensive-minded to defensive-minded, never allowing Isthmus really the opportunity at any type of counterattack. Player down once again for Isthmus. That was Natin Lidikover, but up on his feet. Seems to be doing all right. Well, some exciting action, especially in this second half for FC Milwaukee Torrent. 87th minute of play, Torrent up 3-0. First goal came from Ethan Kratzer off of a corner kick. Ball was soaring to the far post. Kratzer got up, got his head on it, put it in the back of the net. Now Isthmus looking for an opportunity themselves. That goes wide of goal. Shank stretching out just in case that ball decided to curve towards the goal, but never touched him. Goal kick, Milwaukee. Second goal scored in the 56th minute. Osvaldo Sanchez with that goal, but my oh my, what a great team goal that was. Pace alone on the far side, or near side rather, played it in the middle to Piscaglia, who one-timed it to Sanchez, and Sanchez himself one-timed it in the back of the net, making an absolutely perfect run, putting the Torrent up 2-0. Then in the 72nd minute, with a cracker of a shot by Taylor Pill, about 40 yards out from goal, sent it soaring through the air. He could have been another 5 or 10 yards out, and that ball still would have made it in the goal. It was just hitting the top corner as it made its entry into the net. That is where the scoring has got us so far. Again, FC Milwaukee Torrent up 3-0 tonight in this friendly against Isthmus City FC. Using this as a warm-up for Saturday's playoff game. Goal! No, no, no. Offside. Substitution taking place. Jacob Narcus thinking he got a goal for the Torrent tonight. But just as I was about to call that, notice that the AR here on the near side had his flag up for the offside infraction. 89th minute of play. Strong run from Stevens. Ball rolls out of bounds nonetheless, and Stevens, of course, will take his time to grab this one. Ball eventually thrown in. 70 seconds left in this one. Handball easily called by the far side AR. And despite the injuries we had, I'd be surprised if this goes beyond 90. Again, it's just a friendly tonight, and while pride may be on the line, no trophies are. And all the Torrent want to make sure they do at this point is walk off this field with everyone healthy, ready for their playoff match against Des Moines United FC. Again, that will be in Des Moines, Iowa this Saturday at 7 p.m. Not sure if Des Moines streams through YouTube. If they stream through 11 Sports, check both places. And in the meantime, make sure you come on out for the Torrent women and all of the WPSL action that's to take place this weekend. First game is 4 p.m. on Saturday against Colorado Rapids women versus KC Courage. And then at 7 p.m., FC Milwaukee Torrent women taking on Salvo SC. That is Saturday night, 7 p.m. And that will do it for this game. And all the men are traveling to Des Moines this weekend for their playoff game at 7 p.m., which, again, we will give you updates in the stadium. They will be back to play one final time at home this year, taking on Metro Louisville FC Monday night at 7 p.m. in the NISA Independent Cup. We'll see what happens between Inter Detroit and Metro Louisville this weekend. But even though the Torrent lost 2-1 to Inter Detroit in June, they are not out of the Independent Cup yet. And they still have a chance to then go on and play Michigan Stars. But for tonight, we send the men off with a 3-0 victory as they next travel to Iowa. Once again, goals in the 51st minute from Ethan Kratzer. In the 56th minute from Osvaldo Sanchez, assisted by Piscaglia and Pesalone. And all alone in the 72nd minute, Taylor Pill with a rocket of a shot, finishing off the scoring for FC Milwaukee Torrent, making it 3-0 on the night. Folks, we will see you Saturday, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. WPSL action, Central Region Playoffs, championship game of that, Sunday at 6. And then we'll see you Monday night as FC Milwaukee Torrent men take on Metro Louisville FC, 7 p.m. here at Hart Park in the NISA Independent Cup. Until Saturday, have a great night. On behalf of everyone here at FC Milwaukee Torrent, my name is Simon Provan. Thank you for joining us. Quick thank yous out to Kevin O'Connor for helping us out, as he always does with these streams, and everybody who helped us out tonight on the camera. And a last shout out to Dan Pfeiffer, your PA announcer. Thank you very much, folks. Have a great night. We'll see you Saturday.